Is that better? And Nancy, you're on. I didn't think you would be on today. But I'm happy to see you. I hope you had a nice lunch. Sound should be better. Let me know. Thumbs up. We good? Let me know. Let me know. Hi, Kim. All right, Kim, can you? Yes, only for 15 minutes. Oh, you're here. Oh, good. So hopefully, yeah, you'll get to see a little preview of what we're seeing, and then you can go have a nice lunch. Sorry, I saw your message from last night, this morning, and I didn't want to write back too early. So good. All right, so we are good. All right, so lots happening. So today is what, November 14th. Thanks, Kim. There is a sale going on. Let's see, starting today. It's today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. 10% off ribbons, which is ribbons and trims and twines and linen thread. 15% off inks, which is not just ink pads, but it's ink pads, Stampin' Write markers, blends markers, like Versamark stays on, and I think it's reinkers too. And then 20% off papers, so cardstock, designer series paper, specialty papers, vellum, note cards and envelopes, like the pack, and for the annual catalog, not the holiday catalog, just the annual catalog. So that is happening today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And in conjunction with that, I'm having a mystery host party. And so I thought, there we go. That is the mystery host code. So if you want to get some sale things or not some sale things, but want to be entered in for the mystery host party, which I did last November, with conjunction with the sale, that is the host code. And right now we are up to $100, which is pretty cool. So I don't know if that ticker is going to get annoying or not. Let me see if I can. I'm going to stop that ticker going across the bottom because I'm thinking that's annoying. Okay, I'll put it back on at the end. So yeah, so lots going on. And then tomorrow ends my Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper product spotlight, which let me show you. So let me actually get this back on here. And then I'll put that there. All right, well, I thought it was straight. I guess I'm not really all that straight. I thought I had it straightened out. There we go. That's better. The more technology I learn, the more I realize I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, Debbie's here. Hi. All right, great. So that's the sale that's going on the next couple days. This is the PDF, so you can print it or download it. It has just instructions and so forth. And then these are the cards. So if you order, I'll show you the Walk in the Forest paper, actually using that same host code or the mystery host party. I'll show you how to make, that's kind of like my double fold card, hidden card, and then that's the single hidden card. So they're fun. So obviously you can use different papers and everything, but that is that. All right. So today, like I was saying earlier, that you couldn't hear me because my sound wasn't working. I designed these cards 2 to 3 weeks ago, and I haven't looked at them since. So I'm hoping I prepared myself well. I was going to do it last week, but then I told you guys that I was kind of cooking with my friend's son, and because he had no school, and so I pushed it off a week. So anyways, these are called, I'm just laughing at you, Nancy. These are called bridge cards, with this being the, here's the waterways and the bridge. And you can do them many different ways. You can kind of see I varied up my bridge here and here a little bit differently. So we're going to put them together, and I think they're kind of fun, and the paper works really well with it. So this is that Walk in the Forest paper. So I know I'm going to tell you again that $3 for each pack of this paper sold. Stampin' Up! Will donate $3 towards it's their Make a Difference program. So they chose to do Toys for Tots. So $3 of every pack from whoever buys one goes towards Toys for Tots. And then once I know the total number of dollars that's donated, I'll let you guys know. But it's fun paper. I like the colors. I like the bears are kind of fun. They don't necessarily have to be Christmas. It could be winter. There's 2 pages that have bears on them. But it's kind of fun paper. All right, so let's see. Look at, I made myself templates. So this is, I do this a lot actually with fun fold cards. I just take kind of, I usually use retired paper, but paper, and then I just make a plain old template with measurements and score lines, so then I can refer to it often and again, so I can make more of them. All right, so looks like I have supplies to make both cards, so that's good. I have some things are pre-cut out. Let's see. Let's see how good I prepped here. Oh, I didn't do a perfect job because I realized I forgot an ink pad. Well, we're gonna improvise. Okay. So I'm gonna start with Balmy Blue. So it looks like we're gonna make this one first. So again, this is the bridge. So this I'm gonna cut it, but the piece of paper you want is 8 by 4 1/4, and then we're gonna score at these measurements. So let me grab my paper cutter. And I think what I'll do is I'll kind of prep too. So my paper, 8.5 by 11, I'm going to cut it on the 8. And then I'm going to cut on the 4 1/4. So I guess what I could have done is cut 4 1/4, and then I would have just cut 1, I suppose, 8. So I'm doing a better job. All right, so 8 by 4 1/4. That doesn't look right. Oh, because I cut it wrong. Ay. All right, so we're just making one card out of this paper. You guys, you have to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Okay, this is what we want. 8 by 4 1/4. Make sure I'm on screen here. And we're going to score it at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6 3/4. So here we go. 1 1/4. Take my cutting blade away. 2 1/2. I'll put a picture of this up too for you guys for reference for later. 5 1/2 and 6 3/4. All right, so that is that. Let's see. I even wrote it out here. It was somewhat organized. All right, so we are going to fold. We're going to make our little kind of the ends of where the bridge is going to go. So I'm going to fold it that way, and I'm going to fold it this way. I'm just going to turn it around. So that can be like, you know, a road. This can be our river. Or our mountain and our valley, depending on where you live. All right. So there we go. So that's kind of the basis of the bridge fold. And then whatever bridge you're going to do. So like this one, I put the bridge on the bottom. And then this one bridge, I kind of put in the middle. So I'm going to do hopefully both, depending on what I have up here. So I'm going to use my designer series paper. I like I actually really like the trees with the blue. So let's see. That's not the one I want. I'm just going to measure because I'm not going to trust what I wrote. So this is 1 1/4. So I want 1 by 4. And I need 2 of those. So that should be, yep, that's 4. Good. So I need 1. Oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. I didn't write it that way. this is what I did. So I must have figured out, let's see what it was, I'll tell you. It is 4 3/4 wide by 4. And I think what I'm going to do is cut an inch off on this side and an inch off on this side so that my seam actually lines up, right? I bet that's what I did. I just didn't write it that way. So here's an inch. Here's an inch. So here's my seam that's just going to go like that, right? Because that's going to be, yes. Okay. The holidays haven't even started yet, my friends. This is going to be a fun season. Be crazy. All right. I know you guys are, I know I've said, I think you guys know my daughter's been away since June. She's coming home on Saturday. Very excited. She's been in New Zealand, doing her junior year or junior semester abroad. And I kept telling everyone, like, what, they asked, when's she coming home? And I'm like, the 18th, which is true. And I realized on Sunday, thinking it was 2 weeks away, I realized on Sunday that it's this Saturday that she's coming home. So I am doing I'm washing her bedding right now to get her room ready, because I told you guys we painted my son's room a couple weeks ago, and all his stuff was in her room on her bed and everything. So I figured I'd wash everything for her, and we need to clean her room to get it ready for her arrival. Because she would not be happy if she came home to her room that was not done. All right, so I am looking for, that must be that. Oh, darn it. I should have wrote myself notes. All right, so it's okay. I can you see? I did the snow, what's it called? The snow falling embossing folder from the holiday catalog. I made snow on both of those, but I didn't emboss this one, and I don't have that up here. So this one's gonna have no texture, because I just want to show you what I did. So the bridge for this one is 5.5 inches wide, right? Because that would be like, figure a card. This smushes down so it fits in an envelope. So that's 5.5 inches, which is a standard measurement for the length of a card. So that's what that is. And then what I did is I just ripped it. So I just made it whatever width, and I'm going to rip it just to make it look like snow. This just won't have that texture for the polar bear. So this is going to be my bridge like that. And that's okay. And then, here, those are 2 samples. What I did was I used my polar bear punch, or I don't know if it's called a polar bear punch or bear punch, because depending on the color of what you punch out, if you could do a brown bear, you could do a black bear, you could do a pink bear. This one I did white bear for a polar bear. Let's see. Like that. And then what I also did is I took, for a shadow, I took some silver foil paper and I cut another bear. And what I'm going to do is just layer them on top of each other, but kind of have, so you can see the silver, and it kind of gives that shadow right there. So that, let me actually just glue these 2 together right now. Okay, Nancy, thanks for joining in as long as you can. Have a nice lunch. All right. Oops. I'm going to let it dry because the silver foil will be slippery for a moment. All right, so I'm going to let that sit. Put that aside. I also pre-stamped on my vellum because the I did it real red ink. The vellum just takes a few minutes to dry, and so I did it ahead of time so that I wouldn't smudge it. So that is pre-done. And I also, let's see. Yep. I have, I use the Berry Cute stamp set, which goes, it's a bundle with a punch. And I stamped these trees, and I did pre-stamp 2. I used Pretty Peacock with Pretty Peacock ink. And what I was going to do was stamp a third one and show you how to cut it out. But I don't have Pretty Peacock ink, and I don't have a... So you know what we're going to do? We're going to improvise. Rather than do 3 trees, let's see, maybe we'll put another polar bear in the background. How's that? This is extra scrap. It's nice about the bear too. Punch, you can have the bear go in either direction. So let's see if I have enough foil here to do another one. Ooh, just look at that. I just had enough. All right. Oh, but that, shoot, that can't go in the other direction. Let's see. If you want to go in the other direction, you have to punch it holding it upside down. I'm gonna make it. Did you get that? So the white polar bear doesn't matter. If it goes in this direction, it goes in this direction because it's the same color. But if we have paper that is only colored on one side, it does matter. So when I had the foil this direction, I punched, the polar bear has to go in that direction because it's white on the back. So what I did is I just flipped my paper around and punched, so it was really kind of punching that way. That makes sense. So now I have a polar bear, a silver polar bear, going in that direction. So that would be the same like if you're using glitter paper or anything that is one-sided. All right, so we're going to improvise a little bit here on this card. All right, so what I'm going to do, here's my bridge. I'm going to attach it here. And I'm just going to put glue right here where I know that I probably could do a little higher. So I ripped it. So I want this to go in this direction because you can see a little bit of that rip, which has a little bit of the snow texture. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, so the whole card when it's flat looks like that, so it's too big, but remember the bridge is going to go this way and it's going to be 5.5 wide when it's kind of up. So I shifted this over to glue this, and now I'm going to shift this over and I'm going to put glue under this side. And that way also I know that it's flat for my envelope. Like that. So there is, that's kind of the basis of the bridge card, and then it's however you want to decorate it. So I have, like I said, I have the vellum. Let's see, I can do the polar bear. I have 2 trees, so I could put one, and I can put, I didn't, you could also decorate it before you put the bridge in there, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so I didn't. So these trees, if I put them here, when you look down, you're going to see that there's, I don't know if you can, there's going to be a little space, but most people aren't going to be looking your card this way to see the space. They're just going to be looking kind of this way. But actually, maybe the tree should go here. My polar bear, oh, let me glue this one together. So we're going to have 2 polar bears kind of going in opposite directions. So if I had one polar bear going here, and I had the tree, and I had one polar bear going like that, that will go here, and I still have one more tree. I could go like that, so it's a 4. So I think that's what I'll do. All right. So the first thing I'm going to layer down is my tree in the background. It's kind of like a 3D card. So that tree is glued down. And then I'm going to glue. So you could just make sure when it's going in the envelope, there's this fold line right here. So when my polar bear or your tree or whatever, just make sure it clears that fold line, because otherwise when it comes up, the fold will be in the way. Push him down a little bit. He's just going to be partly seen. All right. So kind of building it from the back up. Hi, Karen. You are making Christmas cards. Awesome. Oh, you proof it my way. Awesome. So I was saying I was somewhat prepared, but not 100% prepared. So I'm improvising. Well, that's what we have to do sometimes. All right, so I'm going to put this here. So I know I've told you guys before, you want to hide your glue on the vellum. I just put glue there because the polar bear is going to hide it. And I did use glue. A lot of times I don't use glue with vellum because it buckles, but that little piece is not going to matter. And I'm going to use dimensionals. Hopefully, where are they? There we go. Well, I'm glad you like the card. I'll show you the other one, because there's a few things I forgot on this one. And I have another card to make with you guys too. All right, so we got the 2 polar bears there, and I still have 1 tree that I'm going to just glue here. So I'm just going to put glue on the front side and hook it up to the back of my snow there. So we're kind of making a 3D card. A little forest of polar bears. Like that. So again, there's the bridge. And then when it folds down in the envelope, folds flat. And then I think we need some, to jazz it up a little bit, some diamonds here on our tree. A little glistening snow. I'm going to put some on the back too. Put one on the back. All right, so there we go. So that worked okay. Could even put one as an eye if I wanted to. So here, let me show you the other 2 though that I did before. Here's 1 and here's 2. So if you jumped on late, I prepped this stuff like 2 weeks ago, and did not write myself a note of what I needed to also pack. So this one has some texture of that snow falling 3D embossing folder. So this one I just did flat, and it's fine. It's fine. It's just 1 extra detail. And then I was going to show you, I did 3 trees in both of these ones. And I was going to stamp and cut one out, and I 2 prepped, and I didn't bring up my ink pad. So what I did is I cut an extra polar bear, and I actually kind of like the extra polar bear on the back. So that is that card. So again, the bridge cards. And let me show you a different way. So all these bridges on these ones are all on the bottom, right? The bridge is what kind of connects the 2 sides. So those ones are all on the bottom. So this bridge card, I did the bridge really in the middle. And with these, let's see if I have these cut out. I do. Okay. Phew. I'll show you how I did this one. So this one, I already cut the base. We'll confirm just to make sure that's the right size. I have to cut that piece, and I already did that. Okay. All right. So I showed you guys before my template, right, of my bridge card. So it should be 8 by 4 1/4. So let's make sure that it is in fact that 4 1/4 by 8. It is. Oh, good. So now I'm going to score it. And here are my score lines at 1 1/4. There is a lot going on, I'm sure, in your lives too. So I'm sure you guys make mistakes, get a little flustered, but you just kind of roll with it. No big deal. All right, so I just scored it at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6 3/4. So that was that. And then I need to cut. This panel is going to be 1 inch. This is going to be 1 inch, and because I didn't write this down right, that's 3. So it's going to be 2 3/4. So let me just write that with a different color marker. So the DSP is going to be 1. DSP is going to be 1. DSP is going to be 2 3/4. So if you add that whole thing up, I'll do that what I did before. And it's by 4. So 1 and 1 is 2, plus 2 3/4 is 4 3/4. So then I'm going to cut an inch off this side and an inch off this side, and that way it will be my little scene, like a. And they don't have to match, but at least that way they kind of match. Hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, just put those in the right order. Oh, the middle bridge is new to you. Oh, good. Good. You can put the bridge anywhere. You can put it on the top, the bottom, the middle. Where'd my bone folder go? There's so many different ways of doing this. So this is just 2 of them that I'm showing you. All right, so again, there's the bridge, right? So I'm gonna glue that on that side. Hi, Gina, you snuck on before I saw that you were here. I'm glad you like the cards. All right. So I really do love this paper, the Walk on the Forest paper, because it's like whimsy, but this pattern is not whimsy. It's very, I think, pretty traditional. There's another traditional pattern in there too that I really like that has more of the peacock and the red. Yeah, it might be holly pattern. All right, so that way my pattern kind of flows. Again, not necessary, but since you're cutting the paper anyways, you might as well. All right, so that's my sample. So what I did is I used, and I did bring those up, I used, what are they called? Countryside Corners dies. So they're like cascading or nesting, however you say it. So I used these 2 sizes. And I cut one out of Garden Green just to match my card base. Again, it could have been a different color, but I texturized it because I thought it needed a little something. So I used the Fern 3D folder. It's a folder I love. It just has nice texture to it. And obviously there's no ferns in here, but it kind of goes with it. And then I use the stamp. I think it's from the Joy to You. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, that stamp. And I just used my markers to color, and I know I've done that lots of times. So that's just going to go right on here. But before I do that, we'll add the ribbon. So we'll actually put this together before we do the bridge. So what I did with the ribbon, and this ribbon is a combo pack in the, oh, it's on sale. It's a combo pack in the annual catalog. This is Real Red, and Garden Green is the other one. And it's very traditional. You know, it's kind of plain, but it's nice, soft. It's good tying ribbon. I'm just going to measure it up to this one, approximately. We can trim it if we need to. Like I said, I think the ribbons are 10% off. All right, and then what I did I bring it up here? I may not have that. My linen thread, I think I used that for another project, so I took it out. But let's see if there's anything in my site that I could use instead. What I did is I tied this little fold here just with a little linen thread, and I really like this look. I know you guys have seen me use it before, and I don't have linen thread up here. I just actually ordered more today because I got my linen thread on sale. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to use red and just tie a knot, and I may go back and change it, or I may like it. We'll see. let's see. I'm just tying a knot around that loop. And then I'm going to, all right, so I just tied, here's my loop. I may have done my knot too tight. All right, this actually might be okay. It's a new look to me. I usually use linen thread or white twine to do that, but actually, look at that. That actually looks pretty good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I do have Scotch tape up here. I could put any sort of adhesive down to hold that down, but sometimes when it's going to be hidden, I just use good old Scotch tape. Put that down so it's stuck on there, and now you can either glue that down. I think I'll use dimensionals. It won't be too thick for the envelope. It should be fine. Oh, you know what I learned this weekend? Someone did this. They used their, and they just picked up the, oh, look at that. Oh, she did a better job. She picked up like 5 in a row with it. I'll have to practice. All right. So that's going to go on like that. Again, I think that fern or any other, like the wood grain, look nice. That texture really does a nice job of doing it. And then if you, what you would do is write your message in the back. And so, depending on which side is flatter, you can write your message, or you could take basic white, write a message and glue it on top, or write your message before you put it all together. And so I'm going to, this size of the die works perfectly with this bridge card. So let me make sure I use, I'm going to make sure I did not use, you could use the foam strips, but the regular dimensionals work. So I'm just lining up the dimensionals with the edge of this die. Show you before I do it. So I have the right on the edge here and here. And I'll take those off. I'm actually, I'll take them off. I'm going to take just 2 off at once. And then I'm going to, you can kind of see on this one, the corner lines up right here with a fold. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up this corner right with that fold and stick it. And then I'll take these off. I have a feeling if I took them all off, I'd end up sticking. And then I'm going to shift this way, fold that in, and then that sticks like that. Just makes it. The foam strips would actually be good too, these foam strips, because they're a little narrower, so you wouldn't even have to worry about it. But that's one way of doing the middle. And then it closes for your envelope, and it opens right up, and they're just kind of fun. Oh, and this looks like there has a little diamond on there. So we'll add one as well. A little one. Because it says, "May your Christmas be merry and bright." So I think it needs a little shine. Alrighty. Let's see. We have, oh, Ingrid, you're new to me. Hello and welcome. Let's see. I like how the green frames the text in perfectly. Oh, yeah. You know what? That was impromptu because it was supposed to look like that. But I actually kind of like that. You learn new things, and you've got to sit down this afternoon, make Thanksgiving cards nice. The timing of video is perfect. Oh, awesome. Thanks for the inspiration. I go live pretty much every Tuesday at this time, so at the top of the hour. So my time was 37 minutes ago. So I'm glad and welcome. All right, so these are, if you missed the beginning, you can either go back. I impromptu had to substitute a polar bear for a third tree, but I actually kind of like the look of it. And that's what we do. And I had to improvise this type of bow, but I actually kind of like that too. But I still like that one too. I'm going to trim these with better ribbon scissors, just to have a better edge on those. But that is just one, or I guess 2 versions of the bridge card. These ones have the bridge on the bottom. These ones have the bridge in the middle. And if you're a little nervous about the edge, you could just have a 5.5-inch piece of cardstock to put underneath this little label. You know, there's, hopefully you see those variances. Oh, you're welcome. All right, so those were the cards. I will take pictures of them and post them on the page. So I just wanted to go over, because I said this stuff at the beginning. Today, tomorrow, today's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there's a really good sale. This is kind of like Stampin' Up's Black Friday sale. They're just doing a week early, which I really like. All their from the annual catalog. So everything. So from this catalog, 10% off ribbons, twines, trims, 15% off inks, but that includes ink pads, re-inkers, Stampin' markers, blend, like so these, blends markers, I'm pretty sure the re-inkers, Versamark stays on, and then 20% off papers, so cardstock, designer series paper, specialty papers, vellum, the note cards and envelopes that come in the packs. I don't know about the memory note cards, but I would think so. So that's going on today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And if you, let's see, I'm just going to do this. I think it's going to the ticker, but if you place an order using this host code that's at the bottom of your screen, you'll be entered in for the mystery host party that I did it again. I did it last year, and then the winner of last year, she got $179 worth of free products. So right now we're up to 100, which is great. So the only way you need to order, let me put myself on here. The way you need to order or enter rather is just place an order using that host code, and you automatically are entered. Friday I will pop on live. I don't know what time, but sometime during the day it'll be a quick 2-minute live. I'll pull a name out of the hat or a basket, and that person will be the mystery host winner. I will pay for shipping for the mystery host prizes or the products, and we're also up to the point where the host can get one item, not including whatever the dollar amount is, an additional one product at 50% off. So if you want a bundle or something, you can get buy that at 50% off. So whew, tomorrow is the last day of the Walk in the Forest paper, my product spotlight. Tomorrow's the last day. If you order that paper using the same host code that's on the bottom, I will send you the PDF of these, how to make these fold cards. So I showed that at the beginning. Okay, so that is a lot going on, which is why I am a little bit frazzled. Oh, I'm glad you like the polar bear and the treaties. I do too. So sometimes, you know, our mistakes turn out to be a good thing. Sometimes not, but sometimes good. All right, I've made a grand mess of my table, and that's okay. Thank you for joining. Sorry I wasn't here last week, but thanks for joining me this week. I will be back next Tuesday, and my daughter will be home, so I'm very excited about that. And watch for emails. I have a lot of emails coming out in the next couple weeks. So if you are not on my mailing list, please get on. Just go to mailsomethingpretty.com, and right on the sidebar, there's a sign up box, and you can get my all my emails. And there's a lot coming up because there's a lot happening. Okay, I'm going to take a breath. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for joining in live, and thank you for watching on the replay. And I'll see you guys next week. Happy creating. Bye.